A girl named Lauren Elizabeth Monroe is the district attorney of Manhattan. Today she made a statement to the press about a very high-profile case that all of New York is watching. Meanwhile, Lauren's father, Archer Monroe, suddenly felt ill. Lauren introduced the audience to her younger brother William Monroe, who is a congressman and running for a second term. Despite his condition, Archer Monroe got behind the wheel. When Lauren learned from reporters that her father had been found lifeless on the way to their summer cottage, she was speechless with shock. Soon after, the funeral was held, attended by all relatives as well as business partners. Archer Monroe was the patriarch of a very wealthy and influential family that had great authority in the city. Lauren grieves for her father, receiving condolences from various people. Like her, the brother cannot believe what happened. Their father used to have no heart problems. Later, Lauren went into the father's private room, where there are many expensive collectibles as well as family photos. Lauren remembers how she used to play chess with her father. Archer wanted his daughter to learn to think strategically and always strive to win. Soon their family lawyer, Harold Thulis, announced Archer's will. The property and money were divided between his wife Catherine, son William, daughter Lauren and charitable organizations. Lauren received much less than her brother. Lauren thanked Harold for everything he had done for them and was very surprised when the lawyer handed her an envelope from the father. Archer wanted his daughter to receive it personally. In the envelope, Lauren found a box with a flash drive. The father recorded a video message for her in which he said something about a case that he hadn't managed to finish. Archer also asks his daughter to keep this secret. What he's talking about is hidden under the ground on their family's property. Before ending the video message, Archer reminds his daughter that the truth should never be exposed. Scott, Lauren's husband, really wants to support her, but the girl said she needed to be alone. As her father asked, Lauren went to the designated place where she was strictly forbidden to go as a child. Lauren found a secret bunker, and after opening the lock, went down. It was a dark, isolated underground structure. Lauren turned on the light. The bunker turned out to be much larger than it seemed at first. Despite her fear, the girl kept walking forward. When Lauren saw that someone was locked in one of the rooms, she rushed out in a panic. Lauren tried to make sense of what she saw, but she has no explanations for what happened. Lauren was about to call 911, but changed her mind at the last moment. The brother noticed her condition and offered to split all the inheritance equally, but Lauren said that it did not matter to her. Catherine cannot accept her husband's demise. They had a beautiful life together, but now Archer has left her. Lauren asked her mother if the father had any enemies that she did not know about. Catherine answered that he wasn't a saint, but the daughter should not have to carry this burden. Lauren said she just wanted to help. Catherine in turn asked her to focus on destroying William's political competitor in court. In the evening, Lauren wished her daughter Claire good night and promised Scott that she would return home tomorrow as soon as she finished something. While in her father's private room, Lauren recalled how she had argued with him. She didn't want to defend the rich in court, intending to uphold the interests of the poor. The next morning, Lauren returned to the bunker. There's no signal here. Gathering her courage, Lauren entered the room where a certain man was locked up. While he was sleeping, Lauren took his fingerprints. Suddenly the man woke up, and Lauren ran away again. This time she wore a mask before returning. Lauren asked the man who he was. However, the man was not in a hurry to answer her questions. He also let Lauren know that he knew who she was. He knows everything about the Monroe family. Understanding that there was no point in hiding her face, Lauren took off the mask after all. The man stated that he had been in this bunker for 30 years. When the man realized that Archer had passed away, he asked Lauren if she liked the father's inheritance. First and foremost, Lauren is interested in why the man is here. Without the truth, she is not going to do anything. The man told Lauren that he would only tell the truth if she brought him a steak, whiskey, a newspaper, a razor and a slice of key lime pie. Lauren hurried to leave and called a detective she knew, asking him to check the fingerprints in the database. After that, Lauren went to a cafe to order everything the man had asked for. When her husband called, Lauren tried to pretend that everything was okay. She brought the man a steak and pie, demanding the truth. The man, who hadn't known normal food for many years, told Lauren that she was not like her father. There is much more humanity in her. Lauren has no more time. Before leaving, she told the man that if he doesn't tell the truth by evening, he will never see her again. Lauren called a colleague and asked him to start the hearing without her. After work, she returned to the bunker, bringing the man a bottle of whiskey and chocolate. He said that her father only gave him a treat once a year, on Christmas. He also took pictures. Lauren indeed found photographs in the box. Finally, the man introduced himself. His name is Morgan Warner. He met Archer in his youth. They were similar and became business partners. But once being drunk, they were driving after a party and didn't notice a person on the road. The passerby deceased quickly. Morgan supposedly intended to call the police, but Archer didn't want to lose everything because of this unfortunate incident. Morgan tried to reason with him, but Archer was adamant. In the end, Archer, who was behind the wheel during the accident, covered up the crime and knocked out Morgan, so that he wouldn't blab. Then Archer locked him in the bunker to keep the secret. So year after year passed. Morgan's life turned into a nightmare, but he decided to survive at any cost. According to Morgan, no one is looking for him because Archer told everyone that he supposedly stole his money and fled the country. However, this is not the whole truth. As it turns out, Archer was secretly dating a certain Sophia Fiore behind Catherine's back. This lasted for a very long time. Lauren refuses to believe this, then Morgan gave her Sophia's address and advised to ask Harold for more details. Morgan is confident that Archer secretly left Sophia a part of the inheritance. Upon leaving the bunker, Lauren cried. She does not want to believe that her father was capable of such things. Lauren asked Detective Emilio Sanchez to check if a certain Morgan Warner has been listed as missing since the late 80s. Lauren came to the trial. The judge was clearly displeased with her being late again. Meanwhile, Morgan is repeating the recipe for lime pie out loud. It helps him not to go completely insane. Lauren nevertheless gathered courage and went to the address given by Morgan. Sophia let her into the apartment and offered her a drink. Lauren said that she came for the truth. Sophia admitted that she indeed had a relationship with Archer for many years. Archer helped her with education and career. Learning that Sophia and her father have a son named Alex, Lauren was shocked. It turns out her father was not who he claimed to be. Sophia assured that she has no intention of telling anyone anything. Lauren hurried to leave. Due to the shock she experienced, she physically felt sick. Having calmed down, Lauren came to Harold and made it clear that she knows about Sophia. Harold said that he tried to reason with Archer, but he also had no right to interfere in his personal affairs. Lauren wants to know what other secrets her father kept, however Harold assured that she has nothing to worry about. Before leaving, Lauren asked if her father ever mentioned a man named Morgan Warner. Harold replied that he had never heard of him. Lauren visited her mother, who works as a banker. When Lauren asked if she knows Morgan Warner, Catherine said no. Catherine also said that the daughter should receive an equal share of the inheritance with her brother. According to Catherine, Archer had no right to do so. In the meantime, William is worried that his political opponent is catching up to him in terms of votes. Therefore, William wants the sister to speak in his support tomorrow. Despite her fatigue, Lauren agreed. In the evening, she returned to the bunker. Now she understands that Morgan was telling the truth. Lauren wants to know what other secrets her father kept. Morgan said he knew everything about Archer. He was a bad father and husband, loving only himself. Lauren intends to find the body of the passerby to verify Morgan's story about the accident. After so many years, Morgan won't be able to pinpoint the exact place where they made the burial, so Lauren will have to take him with her. Of course, she took precautions and handcuffed him. Morgan left this bunker for the first time in 30 years. Once free, he couldn't contain his hysterical laughter and tears. In everyday life, people do not notice all the beauty that surrounds them. Ordering Morgan to stay quiet, Lauren answered a call. Scott is outraged that his wife doesn't answer messages, doesn't appear at home and missed their daughter's school concert. Lauren said she just had a tough day and hung up. After that, she drove Morgan to that very place where, according to him, Archer's most dreadful secret lies. Finally, their journey came to an end. Lauren gave Morgan a flashlight, and taking a shovel, started to dig. It was deep night. Lauren still hopes she won't find anything. However, her hopes were not justified. There were indeed remains here. This horrified Lauren. She doesn't want anyone to know what her father did. After that, Lauren brought Morgan back to the bunker. She still doesn't believe that he is innocent and isn't ready to release him, fearing it would destroy her family's reputation and life. Morgan told Lauren that if she doesn't let him go, she'll be even worse than her father. Archer stole Morgan's life. His mother doesn't even know what happened to her son. Moreover, Lauren swore to protect those who have lost faith in justice. Lauren screamed in tears that she didn't have to be responsible for anyone else's mistakes and that she wasn't to blame for what happened. She wants more evidence that Morgan was not involved in that accident. Morgan promised that he would never tell anyone the truth and would disappear if she freed him. All Morgan wants is to live out his allotted years in freedom. However, Lauren can't do that. Morgan pleaded with her not to leave, but Lauren is confused and doesn't know what to do now. All her life she blamed her parents for caring about nothing but reputation, money and power. Now Lauren finds herself in a situation where her actions will affect another person's life, as well as her family's reputation. Lauren went home to her husband and daughter. More than anything, she wants everything that happened to be just a nightmare. The next day during the hearing, Lauren found in the list of dummy companies sponsoring William's opponent's campaign, that very establishment where, according to Morgan, Archer met Sophia. This made her wary. Furious, Lauren went to Harold and demanded explanations. It turns out her father is an accomplice of the defendant in this case. If this comes out, it will turn the case upside down. Harold merely advised Lauren not to get involved in this. The truth could be so awful that it was better never to know. Lauren came to her brother and asked if hypothetically a blackmailer threatened their family's well-being, how would he react? William answered without hesitation that he would either pay him off or make the blackmailer quiet forever. That's how their father would have acted, because the family is the most important thing. Lauren is facing a tough choice. She returned to the bunker and told Morgan that she wants to do the right thing, but she is not sure that he will disappear, as he promised. Morgan swore that he would remain silent for the rest of his life. Lauren told him to get ready, saying that he will leave today. After that, Lauren met with Harold and asked him to deposit the $1 million inherited from her father into a certain account in the Caribbean islands. He should also prepare the papers for the one who suffered from her father. Morgan was preparing for life on the outside. Lauren asked what the father really thought of her. Morgan honestly said that Archer was disappointed that his daughter chose a career as a district attorney instead of corporate law. Morgan also hinted that William had been paying unions to support his election campaign. Lauren thought this was slander, to which Morgan replied that a certain Jeffrey Schultz definitely disagrees on that matter, if he is still alive. Lauren immediately met with her brother, asking for a private conversation. She directly asked him if it's true that he and their father had bought union votes and had made money transfers through Jeffrey Schultz. William said that no one would find out about it. He obviously feels no remorse. Lauren realized that her brother and father had been playing an unfair game all this time. After 30 years of confinement, Morgan is finally free. He can't hold back tears, not believing that this day has come. Lauren just wants to do what's right. She drove Morgan to the airport, where a private plane to the Caribbean was waiting for him. Lauren wished Morgan good luck in his new life. Morgan in turn said that 30 years ago he promised himself that if he was released, he would eat lime pie. This helped him stay sane. Lauren asked Morgan for forgiveness. He did not deserve any of this. Thanking her, Morgan was about to leave. Harold handed him new documents, $100,000 in cash, and an account number with $1 million. They were preparing for takeoff. Meanwhile, Lauren went back to the bunker to erase traces of Morgan's long stay there. At the same time, Detective Sanchez found the documents she had requested earlier in the archives. Immediately sent everything to the address of the Monroe family's summer cottage, as Lauren requested, who at that moment saw a bottle of an unknown substance in the bunker. Kate found the parcel before her daughter. Seeing messages from Sanchez and her mother, Lauren hurried to the summer cottage. When she arrived, Catherine had already unpacked the parcel and found a picture of Morgan. Turns out his real name is Carson, and Morgan Warner is a completely different person. Not understanding anything, Lauren said in despair that the father had kept this man in the bunker next to the house for 30 years. Catherine objected, stating that Carson was the embodiment of evil. Learning that her daughter had let him go, Catherine was in deep shock. Lauren realized that she had made a terrible mistake. Lauren was determined to make things right, but Harold wasn't answering her calls. Arriving at the private airport, Lauren found Harold lifeless. Lauren desperately tried to reach her mother, but in vain. Lauren urgently came home, but she was late. Carson was here before her. Seeing the light coming from the bunker, Lauren rushed there and found her mother unconscious. However, she couldn't do anything because Carson turned off the light. Lauren held the flashlight and the gun, hearing Carson's voice saying that his eyes had adapted to the darkness after so many years of confinement. Suddenly Carson attacked her, and a struggle ensued between them. Carson quickly knocked Lauren out and dragged her into the same room. Catherine was still unconscious. When Lauren came to her senses, Carson said that he had been planning his revenge all these years. He stole the bottle of poison that Archer had prepared for him. Turns out Archer's demise wasn't accidental. Carson manipulated Lauren to get out. If Archer had left this inheritance to William, obviously the guy would have just thrown away the keys and never come back here. Catherine came too. Carson told Lauren that he had courted her mother many years ago. But when Catherine rejected Carson, he got angry and took what he wanted. Learning about this, Archer was furious and put Carson in the car. But on the way, Carson shoved him. Archer didn't manage to stop in front of a pedestrian. That's why Archer decided to hide the traces of the crime and lock Carson, who could ruin his life. Lauren tried to negotiate with Carson and promised that she would disclose all the misdeeds her family was guilty of, but Carson wasn't interested. All he wants is revenge. Then Lauren told Carson in a burst of emotion that all this time no one had been looking for him, because he was a nonentity and not even needed by his own father. After these words, Lauren attacked him. Suddenly Carson shouted to Lauren that he was her real father. At this moment Catherine, who managed to reach the gun, fired, depriving him of life. So Lauren learned the most important secret of her parents. Catherine took her by the hand and said that she had always been Monroe. The mother and daughter decided that no one would ever know what happened here. They burned down the bunker. This secret will forever remain with them. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel not to miss more exciting new products. Also, the authors will be pleased if you leave your opinion in the comments.